The conventional path to building wealth, getting a good job, climbing the corporate ladder, and saving your pennies, is a system designed for stability, not financial independence. It rarely includes the real blueprint for wealth. I spent 9 years inside the high-stakes U.S. investment banking system. I saw millions move across screens daily and had to learn the rules of wealth through observation because they aren't taught in school. Your salary is the starting point. What dictates your financial reality is what you do with that money once it hits your account. Most people live their entire lives without understanding how the game is actually played. These 6 non-negotiable wealth rules are followed by every self-made millionaire I know. If you implement them, your financial reality will shift. If you ignore them, you stay on the time for money treadmill. This is the wealth equation. Think of your financial life like a layered cake. The bottom layer is what you earn, the middle layer is what you keep, and the top icing is how you grow it. Most workers spend 40 years optimizing for just that bottom layer. The truly wealthy optimize for the other two. The gap between what you earn and what you spend is the metric for wealth creation. In banking, I saw executives with 6-figure salaries who had a gap of 0. They were suffocating under the weight of their own lifestyles. Take Joey. He earns $80,000 but spends $70,000 on his lifestyle. Joey's gap is $10,000. Now take Kai. He earns $40,000 but keeps expenses tight at $25,000. His gap is $15,000. Kai is building wealth 50% faster on half the salary. Wealth isn't about your gross income. The mathematical scale of your gap is the engine of your financial freedom. Mainstream advice focuses on cutting small expenses like coffee, but your spending has a floor. You can only cut back so much before hitting survival limits. But your income potential has no ceiling. The leverage on earning is vertically unlimited. I tested this in my own career. I moved from a $35,000 base to $120,000, not by skipping coffee, but by negotiating my value, switching companies when growth stalled, and building high-income skills. Cutting back feels responsible, but earning more is where real leverage lives. It requires the discomfort of asking for a raise or launching a business, but it is the only way to significantly raise the ceiling. When income increases, most people fall into a trap. They increase their spending proportionally. A year later, the gap hasn't widened at all. In my first year in banking, I bought a second-hand Audi convertible for $15,000 to look successful. A colleague on the same salary used her money for a property down payment. My Audi lost value immediately. Her property doubled. This is lifestyle creep. In the US, 26% of people earning over 6 figures still live paycheck to paycheck because they allow the normal standards of their new income bracket to swallow their gains. You need to measure this every month. Ask yourself, did my gap grow with my income, or did my lifestyle consume the difference? Once you protect that gap, you must deploy it. Every dollar leaving your account is active. It is either compounding or decaying towards 0. Decaying spending is capital exchanged for temporary status or items that lose value, like a new car or expensive meals. You are trading your wealth for things that will soon be worth nothing. Compounding spending involves exchanging capital for exponential future returns. This includes self-education, high-end productivity tools, and optimizing your health, purchases that look like expenses but pay dividends over time. This logic applies to time reclamation. Hiring a virtual assistant or a meal service allows you to redirect your hours toward high-leverage work that scales your income. Before any major purchase, use a 5-year filter. In 5 years, will I still be glad I bought this? If the answer is yes, it's a compounding investment. A standard salary is a linear equation. You trade an hour for a set dollar amount. If you stop working, the money stops. This system is limited by your physical capacity. An asset breaks that math. It is a mechanism you build or buy once that generates revenue asynchronously, detached from your physical presence. If you spend 100 hours building a digital asset that generates $500 a month, that asset pays you $30,000 over 5 years. That is a rate of $300 an hour for the original work performed. Automated digital ventures, like e-commerce or digital products, allow you to sell to a global market while you sleep. These vehicles detach your income from your time. By front-loading the effort to build or acquire these assets, you create a system that earns without your presence, allowing you to finally step off the time-for-money treadmill. The final rule is proximity. Your financial standards will calibrate to the people you spend the most time with. You need to be in environments where your current peak success is considered the bare minimum. Being around people who out-earn you triggers imposter syndrome, but successful people lean into that discomfort until that higher standard becomes their new baseline. These rules require a community that normalizes growth and discusses investments openly. Without that environment, the mechanical rules are much harder to sustain. If you want to learn more about asset creation and building passive income, hit subscribe. Like and share if you're ready to grow your wealth. Thanks for watching.